Amazing! 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 Amazing!
Amazing! Amazing! Let's begin. What the?
Amazing! What the? Beta! 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 Be black. Amazing! Hola. 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 Mamma mia. Hola. Hola. Sí, señor. Señor, sí. Men, it's okay to be a man. Amazing! Amazing!
stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up. And throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Justin Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday again, the end of the work week for some people. A lot of people are on vacation right now because of 4th of July next week, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Did you know that next week is July already? What the? Man. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. The biblical question for this week: what are you committed to? What are you? Get to know thyself. Life is about you knowing you. You're going to be surprised, stunned, but happily stunned about what you're going to discover about yourself and how much you did not know yourself, but you thought you did. It's going to blow your mind. What are you committed to? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, busy, you're stuck in the airport somewhere because Pete Buttcheek didn't take care of the roads and the skyways and highways and things like that, and you're stuck in the airport trying to get somewhere or go somewhere or come back from somewhere, you can listen to the show anywhere in the world on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Because Pete Buttcheek did not take care of the transportation.
What the?
They put him in charge of transportation, and he done nothing for it. It's a mess. It's worse now than ever. Amazing. Don't forget to follow us, Jesse Lee Peterson, on Instagram, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, and rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and do all those things. All right? I do appreciate it. So, it is Friday. It's Friday again already. It's Friday. And every Friday is Open Line Friday. Get it off your chest Friday. Whatever is on your mind, express yourself Friday.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
But let's begin here this morning with search crews who are still trying to locate.
He called 911, expecting one agency to respond.
Over just a huge protest as the Dodgers get ready for Pride Night.
They believe the mini sub blew apart as it descended down to the wreck of the Titanic Sunday, killing the 5 men on board instantly.
The emotional support gator, nominated this year for America's favorite pet. A cuddle buddy and a real sweetheart.
Wally is quite different. I think he's part human. We don't know why. He's very special. He's a very special alligator, and he just loves the attention. He loves people.
A few years ago, after Joe lost some people close to him, he says he fell into a deep depression.
Every day of my life, he does something to put joy in, makes me smile. See you later, alligator.
Can you imagine that? In that fallen state, you can sink so low that you think an animal is part human? Come on, man. You know you low. What the? In a fallen state. What is this old world coming to? Things just ain't the same. Amazing. Grandpa tell me about the good old days. What a mess. So, the U.S. Supreme Court is trying to make it right for everyone, but the losers don't want it to happen. According to AP, the Supreme Court has struck down affirmative action in college admissions, declaring race cannot be a factor and forcing institutions of higher education to look for a new way to achieve diverse student body. Race can't be a factor. If you want everything to be the same, they got to earn it. It cannot be based on race. So for the U.S. Supreme Court is saying, as most normal thinking people know, is that you cannot get into a college because you're black. You got to earn it, not just because of your color. And you would think that the people would be happy, everybody would be happy that you got to earn it. It just doesn't come, you don't get it just because of your color, right? But there are people unhappy about that. And you would think that the blacks would be happy about that because as long as affirmative action is in operation, everybody, there's not one, know that the blacks get into white schools not because they're smart, not because they work hard, not because they have the ability, but because they're black. And even at graduation, when you see black kids graduating from universities and things like that, and they're happy and they got a little piece of paper called degree, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, you didn't earn it. You got it because you're black. You didn't earn it. They had to lower the standard to let you in. Just because you have a piece of paper that says you're a doctor, lawyer, or Indian chief, you didn't earn it. And we all know that. And you would think that the blacks would be happy that this is being taken away so that you have to earn your way, because dealing with the situations in life makes you a stronger person, a better person, smarter and everything. You appreciate what you have when you earn it. So the Asians and the whites and the Hispanics, they earn their way. The blacks are the only one in this country that don't have it in them to earn their way. It's the dirtiest thing I ever seen. And when you give them something, they destroy it. They don't make it better at all. Because it's not the same appreciation for it. When you don't earn it, you don't appreciate it. Have you noticed that? I had to adjust my chair to my seat. Have you noticed that? You don't appreciate it. It's like giving children things all the time without them having to earn it. They don't appreciate it. Parents buy their kids stuff all through young life. Then when they're about to go to college, for whatever reason, they buy them a car and all kinds of stuff. The kids don't appreciate it because it's not theirs. They didn't earn it. And that's why black folks, not all, but most, they don't appreciate America because they're not earning America. They're destroying it because it's being given to them because they're incapable of earning it themselves. Isn't that amazing? I wonder what it's like to be black and not be able to take care of yourself. Even the black men and the black women, you need a handout all the time. Somebody got your whole life. Somebody got to give it to you, and if they don't give it to you, you get mad and try to take it. What's that like? That's a miserable life. So you would think that the blacks are happy that now they finally have to earn their way, and the white folks don't have to lower their standards down to the black lack of standard, but now the black can rise up to the white people's standard. Most blacks should be happy about that, but they're not. The Supreme Court says, nope, you can't let them in based on color. It's not fair to the Asians. It's not fair to the whites. It's not fair to the Hispanics. And really, it's not fair to the blacks. Because if you love them, you will want them to earn their way. So they'll have a sense of gratefulness or something, right? But no. I want to show you some of the reactions to the good news. Watch this compilation.
To say that you can include a student's identity, the student, the person behind the papers and the grades and the test scores, that you're not allowed to include race, which is such an encompassing part of at least my identity as an underrepresented minority, it makes me feel upset.
They are reeling, they are devastated, and they're worried about what the culture, what the makeup of their classes, the future generations coming up behind them at Harvard, what they're going to look like in the future.
I feel like some racial minorities or identities and groups of people have had harder experiences in America and are not given the same opportunities as other majority groups.
That there are real-world examples where if you take race out of the equation in any way, shape, or form, it is very hard to reach these goals of diversity that colleges, either private or public, have set for themselves.
Are we going to be a country that embraces diversity for a global economy looking into the future, or are we going to be a country that's always looking to try to remake 1950s? And the 1950s is not a workable solution for this nation, and this is a Supreme Court that's looking to create that apartheid reality. Individuals are advancing because of wealth and the creation of wealth in the zip code that they was born into. Individuals are advancing because of a level of white privilege that you, I, and all of us here have been denied.
This is tantamount to sticking a dagger in our back, because what they have said now is that it is unconstitutional to even consider race. And given the racial history of the country, let's not act like blacks are behind because there's something in our genes that made us behind. We were enslaved 246 years, and I think it is unimaginable not to consider race.
I want you to think about that. You have black people complaining, saying out loud to you that they can't make it on their own. They make it up. The 1950s when blacks were doing better than any other time because they earned their way back then. But just think about that. These people are mad because they have to do for themselves now. They got to earn it. Al Sharpton, the race hustler, said, it's unimaginable not to consider race. What are we going to do as black people if you don't let us in free? How are we going to survive? The men and the women are literally, and the little Allah U'abba woman and the little black girl sound like she's from Africa. They need to go back to their country if they're unhappy here being black and being Allah U'abba people, the one with the head rag on. But they are like grown people. The NWC, by the way, NAACP, I've always said they are not for the blacks. They are a political pawn for the Democratic Party, really. But just imagine, I want you to think about that. These people are telling you that we want to be able to get in because of our color. We cannot work hard and study and prepare to get in like the Mexicans, the whites, the Asians, the Japanese, the Chinese. Oh. But let us in because we can't do it. Think about that. They are telling you they are incapable. And if you notice, we have given the blacks affirmative action. We let them into the universities all these years now. And they get the piece of paper, but nothing gets better for them. Nothing. Zero. Nothing in their life. They just beg for more. Just think about it. You have grown people saying they can't make it on their own. And the men are as bad as the women. And so now, because the blacks have been getting into these schools and jobs and things based on their color and not their ability, you think all blacks are part of the affirmative action thing, right? That no black is smart enough to make it on his or her own. And in essence, that's what they're telling you that. And the men are worse than the women. I can't make it. I want affirmative action. Go to a dumb black college if you can't get into the smart white school. They have black colleges. Go there. And the reason you don't want to go there because you know it's no good. You know it's no good. If it's all black, it's no good. And you don't want to go to the black university. And then you get to the white university, you want them to lower all their standards. It's white to have to get up on time. It's white to have to work hard. It's white to have to study. It's white to have to take a test to get in. It's white to have to be clean. It's white. And now you want the white people to lower their standard. They let you in because of your color, not because of your ability, which you don't have, but because of your color. And then they still have to lower the standard. The school books are too white. The teacher is white. What the? And this is what will happen if they take away welfare from the blacks. If you take away welfare from the blacks, you're going to have a riot. They're going to burn down America. When you give people something free, you can't take it away. They'll burn down America. I mean, these people are complaining out loud that they can't make it. Everybody else can make it but the blacks. Think about it. I want you to just smoke on it. What happened to the blacks that they cannot do anything of themselves anymore. They used to prior to the civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s and 40s. Blacks did it for themselves. You would never hear a black man begging somebody for anything. What happened to them? How did they become so dumb and so lazy that they can't make it? They look to the white man for everything, and yet they're trying to wipe out the white man. If you get rid of the white man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You're trying to get rid of the man that's feeding you, providing for you, giving you a job, giving you a school to attend. What are you gonna do if you got rid of them? I know you turn on each other, but what else will you do? Just the News. I want you to hear this. This is from Just the News, right? The Obamas say affirmative action allowed them to prove we belong in college. Watch this from CBS.
Call out a very interesting one from former First Lady Michelle Obama, who we hear from so infrequently since she's left the White House. But you remember that the story of Michelle Obama begins on the south side of Chicago, involves her going to Princeton to study sociology and African American studies, and then on to Harvard Law School. She is an African American woman who, went to the Ivy League and has surely benefited from superior higher education. So she writes in a lengthy statement today, in part, some have parents who graduated from the same school. Others have families who can afford coaches to help them run faster or hit a ball harder. Others go to high schools with lavish resources for tutors and extensive standardized test prep that help them score higher on college entrance exams. We don't usually question if those students belong, she says. So often we just accept that money, power, and privilege are perfectly justifiable forms of affirmative action, while kids growing up like I did are expected to compete when the ground is anything but level. My heart breaks for any young person out there who's wondering what their future holds and what kinds of chances will be open to them. And while I know the strength and grit that lies inside kids who have always had to sweat a little more to climb the same ladders, I hope and I pray that the rest of us are willing to sweat a little too. Former President Obama, in a much shorter statement, says in part, like any policy, affirmative action wasn't perfect, but it allowed generations of students like Michelle and me to prove we belonged.
Amazing. They didn't feel like they belonged until the white man let them into their school. They felt like they belonged there. They didn't feel like they belonged in a black college, a lower standard school, right? They felt like they belonged when the white man let them in because they couldn't do it on their own. Now you see why the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, and Big Mama Michelle destroyed America. It only got worse. It didn't get better at all under them. It got worse because they were affirmative action. They didn't know how to do it. And you voted Obama in for president. A man that can't even get into a school unless you let him in because he's black. And if you notice, the race relationships, the economy, everything, even black people's lives got worse when those two were in the White House. Obama, Big Mama, the fallen Messiah, Obama, and Big Mama Michelle, things got worse because of affirmative action. They just wanted to feel like they belong. Isn't it interesting? Smoke on this. You don't hear white people or Hispanic people or Asian people or anyone fighting, trying to get into even black people are not fighting, trying to get into black colleges. I wonder why. But everybody want to go to the white schools. I wonder why. I wonder why.
She knows she's still the boss.
Evidently. White people, this is why they call you white supremacy. They know that you are superior to them. They try to force their way into your world. You ain't trying to force your way into the black world. They're not even trying to force their way into the black world. Why not? Think about that. Why not? It's no good. I don't give a darn if he does. Come on, Paul. I won't accept him. Nobody want to go to those crappy schools. Nobody want to live in those crappy black neighborhoods or crappy black schools. Everybody want to go to the white schools. They want the white schools, not the black ones. They want the white neighborhoods, not the black ones. They want the white businesses, not the black ones. Why don't you all question what happened that the blacks are not capable of anything nowadays? When singers and actors, so-called actors and singers, make money, what do? They move out of the hood into the white neighborhoods.
Can I get an amen?
And then they still cry racism. The white man lets you in, and you still hate him. This is why white folks, y'all got to say no, just as the U.S. Supreme Court has done. No. And they're going to bitch about it. They're going to yell. They're going to scream because they're spoiled, and they're scared because they know they're not capable of doing it for themselves. They're going to be mad at you, but don't give in. Make the blacks finally do for themselves. And there are white liberals and others that are too happy to help keep the blacks down because they need them. They need them, so when they want something, they cry racism. They need a vote, they got the blacks. They need this, they got the blacks. That's why they're helping the blacks to stay down. And the blacks are too dumb to see it. Harvard University found a loophole in the ruling. And
from Harvard University, dear members of the Harvard community, today the Supreme Court delivered its decision in Students for Fair Admission versus President and Fellows of Harvard College. The court held that Harvard College's admission system does not comply with the principles of the Equal Protection Clause embodied in Title V1 of the Civil Rights Act. The court also ruled that colleges and universities may consider in admission decisions an applicant's discussion of how race affected his or her life, be it through discrimination, inspiration, or otherwise. We will certainly comply with the court's decision.
So Harvard is saying to the dumb blacks, you know, blacks, don't worry. We're going to figure out a way to let you in. We're going to have you write about how difficult it is for you as a black person and slavery, even though you don't know nothing about slavery. You don't know anything about it. You don't even know what slavery means, but write about how difficult it was for you. We'll let you in to help keep you down, keep you dumb, incapable. All right? Poor black, there, pat you on the head, right? There, black. Don't worry. Don't worry. You ain't got to go out there and work hard, earn your way. We going to still let you in. Write about how sad your mama didn't have no husband. Your mama on welfare. Your little black school in your little neighborhood wasn't no good because they were black. We'll let you in. Even Joe Biden agree with Harvard. If you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black. If you're not a Democrat, you ain't black. Quick break. Back in a moment. Come on, man. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Amazing! Amazing! What happened to the blacks? Really? I mean, blacks at one time in America prior to the Civil Rights Movement, you did it. The blacks were doing for themselves. I know y'all don't believe that because ever since you've been on the earth, you've been begging and blaming and chasing the white man, right? But you used to do it. You can do it. Get up. You can do it. And how did the black men become so weak? They even say out loud that white people are superior. They call them the white supremacy. You're superior to us. What happened, black folks? I know the Democratic Party spoiled you. The NAACP, Maxine Waters, the so-called Civil Rights Movement, they mess you up. Anyway, the Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. After my show, the Hake, H-A-K-E, report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then after that, a brand new episode of The Fallen State.tv. TheFallenState.tv. I talked to Sibo and Snapper from the Sibo and Snapper YouTube channel. It was an amazing conversation. You're going to love it. Watch this teaser.
Next time on The Fallen State.
You obey him?
I'm not too fond of the word obey.
And have you forgiven your mother?
She's 83.
Well, you better tell her before she dies.
Stop it.
You gotta forgive your mother, man. You just like her. I see her in you.
Would you ever get married or no?
I don't want that hell in my life. Can't you tell you're afraid of his mama?
Oh, no, not afraid. According to the show, we're supposed to be on politics. I didn't know we were coming with just the show for this.
I know, me either. What the? The Fallen State today at 12 noon Pacific time. And don't forget, you could support the Fallen State by becoming a member there on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Thank you. Also, at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. Alive and well and flying high. His plane ain't crashing. The Anchor Baby Show, the American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. today, Pacific time. Get ready. It's going to be a smooth ride. And even though Pete Buttcheek has not done his job as a transportation person, the Anchor Baby plane is flying just fine on time and never late. At 4 p.m. Pacific time. At Sunday morning, we have a fellowship for all. Fellowship for all at 11 a.m. it starts. Doors open at 10:30. If you're in the LA area, come on down. Or not, you can watch it live by going to rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. So that's Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. And if you're black, it's everybody and they mama. But if you're white, it's everybody and their mama. If you're black, it's everybody and they mama. Listen up. Last announcement for now. Good news, good news, good news. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Run, don't walk. White History Month shirts are available now. Amazing. White History Month, July just feels white. Amazing. Amazing. They are available and they're beautiful. Designed by the one and the only Anchor Baby. The Anchor Baby designed them. Isn't they beautiful? Aren't they beautiful? Very nice. July just feels white. White History Month is a day or two away. So make sure you don't wait. We have a limited supply. These are like special shirts, right? White babies. It's special. And we have limited supply of colors and sizes. So go to whitehistorymonth.store. Whitehistorymonth.store. And get your White History Month shirts. And next month, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, I want to hear your White History Month stories. You got to remember, we cannot forget. It was white men who founded and created the greatest country on this side of heaven. It wasn't color people, period. It was whites. And they want to tear down the statues and the monuments and the history books and everything and rewrite history and make a mess out of it. We can't let that happen. Somebody got to do something. So we're celebrating our 6th year of White History Month in July. So go to whitehistorymonth.store. Amazing. All right? One last thing for right now with this affirmative action thing, I told you that the court struck it down. They said, no, black folks, either y'all sink or swim. We're tired of y'all begging. We're tired of you complaining. We're tired of you telling the white people they got to lower their standard, go down to your level and everything fall apart. Everything. Services and everything, right? You got to earn your way. We're getting rid of affirmative action. You got to earn your way. If you can't get into the white schools by earning it, go to a dumb black school, university, whatever, and beat the drums and dance and sing. And Joe Biden agreed that with Harvard trying to figure out a loophole, because if you ain't black if you don't vote for Joe Biden. You ain't black if you lead the Democratic Party. You ain't black if you become an individual, think and do for yourself. Something wrong with you. New York Post. After affirmative action ruling, Biden urges college to weigh poverty and adversity. Watch this from MSNBC.
The court has effectively ended affirmative action in college admissions, and I strongly disagree with the court's decision. You know, I've always believed that one of the greatest strengths of America, you're tired of hearing me say it, is our diversity, but I believe that. So today I want to offer some guidance to our nation's colleges as they review their admission systems after today's decision. Guidance that is consistent with today's decision. They should not abandon, let me say this again, they should not abandon their commitment to ensure student bodies of diverse backgrounds and experience that reflect all of America. What I propose for consideration is a new standard, where colleges take into account the adversity a student has overcome when selecting among qualified applicants. It means understanding the particular hardships that each individual student has faced in life, including racial discrimination that individuals have faced in their own lives.
Amazing. Poor blacks. Y'all can't make it like Joe. Y'all need help. Y'all need affirmative action. You want us to come over there and cut your grass? Oh, you don't own any grass? You ain't got no house? And the blacks applauded. What a mess! And the men are worse than the women in begging. They're worse than the women. As a matter of fact, the black men are leading the way in begging and blaming and crying and moping and sitting around waiting for the white man. With my check, affirmative action now, affirmative action forever. Reparation now, reparation forever. Kaya is out of North Carolina. Kaya, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
All is well. All is well.
Nice.
I was calling to answer the biblical question.
What are you committed to?
Nothing.
And
nothing at all.
And when you say nothing, what do you mean and why nothing?
I mean, I'm not committed to my job, an idea, family, the gym, nothing. I mean, there's nothing I'm committed to. The reason I say that is because I realize that commitment is just a feeling. It's not an act that you do. You feel connected to something, or you feel dedicated to something, or you hold something in a high regard. It's just a feeling. And as long as I have a feeling connected to why I'm doing something, I will lose it. I already have done that, you know, in my life. Like, let's say I was committed to working out, had fitness goals. I wanted to, I don't know, get smaller body fat percentage.
Yeah.
But once I made it a commitment, it's like Satan used that against me. You know what I mean? And then I fell off, or it got boring, or whatever it is. Anytime I make something too important, I lose it.
Amazing.
It's just all ego. So, yeah, no commitments over here.
Had you thought about this prior to it becoming a biblical question?
No, not about what I'm committed to, but when you had the other question, what's important to me?
Yeah.
It's kind of along those same lines. But when I heard the question, this week, and I hear everybody's nice, flowery answers, I'm committed to my marriage or overcoming. I thought I was committed to overcoming. But then I was reflecting, I'm like, if I believe I'm committed to overcoming, Satan's going to use that against me. And then he's going to show me how I'm not overcoming and I'm not working on myself and I'm believing thoughts and blah, 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 blah. But no, I hadn't thought about it, but I know it's true that I'm not committed to anything at all.
Well, I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I really appreciate you discussing this. But let me ask before you go, what do you think about the U.S. Supreme Court telling the blacks they're going to have to do it on their own now?
Well, I think it's necessary to be said, but I also think it's kind of just another thing that's happening, because if that is true and the Supreme Court's making that decision, it goes against the rhetoric that is going around now with this whole racial stuff. Like, this is basically admitting, okay, blacks, stop being victims, stop looking to everybody for help. But then at the same time, we're being shown that everywhere, that black people do need help, and black people, too much to even say, right? So I don't really have any thought about it. It's hard to believe that affirmative action ever even happened.
Yeah.
But I know that this is probably just another thing to piss off black people now, because now all the lazy blacks will say, oh, this isn't fair, and white man trying to hold me down, and, you know, that whole thing. I don't know. It just seems like another... I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's going to be a long, hot summer.
But, you know, when I was listening to the monologue about it, I was thinking about my own family, because, you know, I'm black. She black.
She black.
And, like, my dad and my uncle, they didn't go to college. My grandfather didn't go to college. My mom's father didn't go to college. My parents, although they didn't go to college, they still had careers. They still worked.
Yeah.
They still lived just fine without college, you know. So you don't have to go to college.
I rest my case.
But
absolutely. That's deep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing. But one last thing, if you don't mind, real quick, I just wanted to update you on my daughter in the homeschool.
Oh, yes.
So I did pull her out of school last November. She never went back after Thanksgiving break. And then I was able to find a curriculum that I just pay for every month, and she does a self-paced learning thing. She's not really upset about it, but that's what we're doing, and nobody's telling me how to do it or what laws I need to follow. I'm just doing my thing, and when it's time for her to graduate, she's going to graduate, and that's it.
You're better than the average black man. You're doing it
I ain't nothing,
yourself.
Jesse.
You're doing it yourself. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that. And
thank you. It took a while, but I'm glad I just figured it out, and
that's right.
We're figuring it out together. So
right on.
No excuses to these black people now. Excuse.
You
Take
have
the
made
kids out of the schools.
You have made my weekend. You're a perfect example of when a person takes control of their own life, there's nothing to stop them.
Yeah, but you do have to sacrifice. I've sacrificed 3/4 of my income. I don't work as much anymore, but God is taking care of me. All my needs are met, and that's all that matters.
Right on. Amazing.
Right on. Amazing. Nice to talk to you, Jesse.
You too. It's good to talk to you. Stay with us. Stay with the prayer. Watch the thoughts, and just live your life. Stay present. Eternal life is in the present. Amazing.
That's right. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Good to hear from you.
You too.
Amazing.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Amazing. See, you can do it, black people. That's a black woman. And why how the black man gonna be whining? Jesse, why the white man won't let us in? Super chat. Super.
Super chats.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you?
Walking on water. How you?
Amazing.
Nice.
Who let the dogs out? Woo.
Whatever.
Did you hear that Texas is becoming like San Francisco with the homeless folks? In Austin, I believe, homeless people everywhere.
Oh, I could believe that. Excuse me. Austin's liberal.
But it used to be so pretty.
I don't remember.
Years ago.
I think I know some of the homeless there.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, they moved from LA. They moved from here there.
Really? And why? Why?
I don't know.
The weather is better here.
That's true.
Yeah, it's humid over there, right?
Yeah.
I think during the lockdowns, a lot of people thought that Austin was going to be like the new LA.
So California is too expensive even for the homeless?
Maybe so.
The aspiring homeless.
I'm surprised to see so many homeless white people.
It's a shame.
Normally, it's just the blacks. I'm surprised to see so many homeless white people. Do they rap?
Maybe. Okay, on
Super chat.
on D Live. Henry Ford Lives gave a couple of diamonds early here, saying, deny the flesh, return to the spirit, you beta goys. I disavow.
What the?
And then he says, cheer up. White History Month begins tomorrow.
It's tomorrow the 1st?
Yeah.
What the? It's White History Month. We're going to celebrate White History Month.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
Real Jeremy Jordan on Streamlabs. JessieLeePeterson.live. It's funny how the blacks have no problem when their race is used to give them an advantage, but do when they perceive it to give them a disadvantage. Yep.
Repeat that?
It's funny how the blacks have no problem when their race is used to give them an advantage, but do, meaning do have a problem, when they perceive it to give them a disadvantage.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
Indeed.
And giving the blacks affirmative action is not an advantage at all. If you really pay attention, it hasn't helped them at all. Now, they got a dumb piece of paper that I know that the white man gave them a little bit more money because they let them in the company based on affirmative action. But it hasn't helped them at all. Crime is still out of control. The children are still no good. The communities are weak. The men are weak. Nothing changed. They just got the money and moved to the suburb, white people neighborhood. But they still begging, they're still killing, they're still fighting, they're still having abortion, ain't nothing changed. They're still blaming the white man. So that's not an advantage. That's a disadvantage. But thank you, though. I appreciate it. I understand what you're saying.
Mike Young on Streamlabs. Hey, Jesse, the one thing that the blacks need to understand is that affirmative action might be cute on paper, but it has done nothing for the character or condition of the heart of the blacks.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Thank you.
Under Proct says on Streamlabs, Jesse, it is clear that there is an athletic advantage to black people, generally speaking. Is there truth to the claim that there is an intellectual advantage to white people? Of course, not all, for both cases, but generally speaking.
Well, the whites are intellectually smarter than the blacks. And the blacks can run after a ball and jump up and throw it in the little hoop thing and that kind of stuff because they're from Africa. They were born in the jungle.
Nice.
Mommy Africa.
John WX25 says,
thank you.
White people, send your kids to trade school instead of a college that has professors Bonquisha and John Quayle with a 2.0 grade point average teaching medicine.
That's a good idea. Send the white people, send your kids to the trade schools and let the blacks have the university. They'll destroy them anyway. And then they're going to want to go to the trade school. What the? You should trick them.
And thank you guys. That's all for now.
Thank you all. Amazing. I got to take a quick break. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. I'll be back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Next week, Tuesday, is Independence Day, the 4th of July. We'll be here on the show office will be closed, I think. The so-called Supreme Court rejects or restricts affirmative action, as you heard earlier this hour. And Vice President Mike Pence, based Mike Pence, went to kiss up to Volodymyr Zelensky in Kiev, Ukraine, I heard. Or should I say Kiev, Russia? Just kidding around. And is the economy doing great now? This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Express Yourself Friday, June 30th, 2023 AD. Rent's due tomorrow. And stay tuned for hour two. Jesse Lee will be right back. You can get it off your chest today. It is, the lines are full though. But first, Hake news on fake news. CNN is lazy. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports, did you know? Today is the traditional getaway day for the long weekend. What? They're taking some time off from giving us morning updates. They'll be back next Wednesday. Until then, happy 4th of July, even though it's not the 1st. And the base Supreme Court ends affirmative action. And I use the term base loosely. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports, the so-called Supreme Court says colleges and universities can no longer take race into consideration as a specific factor on admissions, a landmark decision that overturns long-standing precedent historically benefiting Black and Latino students in higher education. However, the ruling still allows colleges and universities to consider an applicant's discussion of how race has affected their life as long as it is concretely tied to a quality of character or unique ability that the applicant possesses. Dissenting members of the High Court, high on pot, insisted that it would still make it practically impossible for colleges to consider race at all. Liars. So-called civil rights leaders and education advocates say that the ruling will be damaging to educational institutions. The Black on the Inside White House has been preparing for months for this, actually, eventuality. The so-called president, Sleepy Joe Biden, has directed the Department of so-called Education, which should have been disbanded under Ronald Reagan, by the way, to develop a list of best admissions practices, as you heard earlier this hour on JLP, for colleges to maintain a diverse student population, meaning degenerate. Affirmative action has been in place since the 1960s, terrible, as a tool to prevent discrimination, which is fake news, at selective institutions, many of which historically only admitted white students. Heaven. Russia and Ukraine Russia and Ukraine propaganda documents shared exclusively with Commie Nonsense Network suggest that Russian General Sergei Surovikin was a secret VIP, very important person, member of the Wagner private military company, the group whose leader headed up to a recent short-lived insurrection that plunged Russia's military forces into uncertainty, they claim. It's unclear whether Surovikin has been where he has been since the rebellion ended, so-called rebellion. Meanwhile, former Vice President Mike Pence visited Ukraine on Thursday and told Commie Nonsense Network's Aaron Burnett it's an open question whether Putin is in full command of his military following that revolt. Meanwhile, the Black on the Inside White House is strongly considering approving the transfer of the controversial cluster munition warheads to Ukraine to aid its counteroffensive, despite the risk such weapons could pose to civilians. And is the economy doing great? An onslaught of economic data released Thursday has buoyed U.S. markets, says Commie Nonsense Network. Gross domestic product, GDP, the broadest measure of economic output, increased at an annualized rate of 2% in the first quarter, surpassing economists' predictions. Separately, initial jobless claims fell last week, supposedly, to 239,000. That's a lot, underscoring the labor market's strength. The Federal Reserve, which should be disbanded maybe, released results of its annual stress test, which was nice. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week is a doozy. And by the way, I forgot to mention that this biblical question came from my producer, Sean. It wasn't from me. It is a doozy. I'm like, what the? What are you committed to? I'm like, wow, that's cool. What are you committed to? Isn't that an amazing question? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad anywhere in the world. If you're stuck in the airport or wherever you are, working out, wherever you're doing, you can listen to the show. You can podcast all the shows as well, but you can listen if you're busy by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Ring the bell, hit the like button, subscribe. It's Friday. It is Get It Off Your Chest Friday. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Respect the nature and respect the wildlife. But Yellowstone officials actually say lately there have been so many egregious actions, they were compelled to release a public statement.
Social media got us doing some crazy shit for likes.
Last year, this woman at a Texas national park tried sneaking by a bison.
Oh, no.
She was gored in the back and spent 6 days in the hospital.
Terrifying moments for a group visiting Yellowstone National Park. A bison just feet away, charging its target, a 9-year-old little girl.
I'm going to say 2 words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. Then I want you to take them out of the office with you and incorporate them into your life. Okay, here they are. Stop it!
Oh, that's amazing. The anchor man put that together. What the? That's my first time seeing it.
Amazing.
Talk about comfort animal. How about a comfort buffalo? Oh, man. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. The world gone crazy. Would you ever have a comfort buffalo?
I mean, I feel like back in the day, the good old days, they may have had that.
What?
You know, like Buffalo Bill and.
But still, in the good old days, men were not relying on animals to give them comfort.
It's true.
What?
That's true. They had dominion over the animals.
That's right. God said you had dominion. He said use them for comfort. You have a comforter. His name is the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
Amazing. Anyway, thank you, Hake, baby. Let me go talking about this affirmative action thing where the blacks going to have to earn their way into the white schools. Well, believe me, the liberal whites and the blacks who are already there, the so-called professors and things like that, they're going to figure out a way how to get the blacks in without them having to earn it. Write about how poor you are. Write about how down and out, how you come from slavery. Write about how in the hood the black schools were no good. Write about how pathetic you are. We'll get you in. Those Mexicans and the whites and the Asians and things, they think they can work hard and they're going to get ahead of you. We'll get you in. Poor baby. Come to mama. Mama take care of you. There are black men still living with mama, and they way past 18. What this old world coming to. Let me go to Charles out of Texas. Charles, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. How you doing?
All this well, sir. How are you?
It's been a while since I called in. Last I called back when you was taking a break, and everybody thought that you might have had, left us a little prematurely. But I wanted to call about this affirmative action thing. Man, I've been listening to you since about 2017, and I've been on it. I always had a conservative bent, but it wasn't full blown. And then when I heard you, I was kind of shook at first because I was thinking, man, who is this guy? But I took on the mantle, man, and I was like, hey, we got to get rid of this stuff because all the stuff you're saying, it is not fair. It's not, I have a niece. She's going to Ivy League school first. She just graduated. Going to Ivy League school, New York City, next year. That's affirmative action, isn't it? Aren't we supposed to assume that it's affirmative action?
Yeah.
What you are saying is absolutely correct. Affirmative action has crippled people.
Yeah.
And I was telling your call screener that, I was saying, I would tell my friends, I talk to them pretty much the same way you talk to your audience, I said, why are y'all begging so goddamn much, man? All y'all do is beg, And then they're, well, you black. I said, no, I'm different. I'm not. But then a lot of times you'll catch one or two of them who call me to the side, and they're like, man, what you said, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you put that mirror in front of people's face, and you say, why do you have to have an advantage? Why do you have to have a leg up above other people? Why can't you say? And what you notice, with the Obamas and Big Mama Michelle and the rest of the people who are so-called acting upset, why don't they say, hey, you know what? If that's the way it's got to be, and it is a competitive atmosphere, let's be competitive. Let's figure out a way to have our kids raise themselves up and get in the books and get smarter. Let's have them not only reading at grade level, but reading above grade level by the time they start school, maybe. Let's keep our families. And let me stop with all that hour because I don't like to get into the hour stuff. I like to be an individual.
Nice.
But if they would say, hey, let's get into the relationship where we would stay married. Let's just stop screwing each other, having kids, and then everybody going off like they're like they're a bunch of wild animals.
Yeah.
Maybe that would help.
I wonder what that's like. I don't want to know. I don't want to ever experience it, but being a grown man, a male, or even a grown female, and being black, and in yourself, that you can't make it. You don't believe you can make it. And so you're gonna make the white man give you his stuff because you can't make it. I wonder what that's like.
You absolutely right. The girl that you had on the video clip of that black girl saying how she felt about affirmative action being cut and how that's part of who she is and all this other stuff. Like I told you, it's coffee. I had to catch myself yesterday because I felt like I was like, yeah, I've been saying all this stuff. But then when I heard that, the news came down and it was cut, I have to be honest with you. There was a small percentage of me that felt a little anxiety. You know what I mean? And I was like, where is this coming from? And this is one of those situations I think, like when you talked about, what I've learned from your show, where you step outside of yourself and you say, what is that feeling?
Yeah.
And where is it coming from?
Yeah.
And it's a feeling. It's not nothing but a feeling.
Yeah.
It's not what I believe. It's not what I've been preaching to my friends. It's a feeling.
That's
and
deep,
like
man.
the caller before you, that woman who was saying how Satan has come to her, and I felt like that yesterday, like somebody or Satan or somebody whispered in the back of my ear. You see what you did? You know what I mean?
That's amazing.
But I believe like any muscle, like for instance, if you don't work it, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
What you said earlier should happen. They should cut welfare.
Yep.
For everybody. Rush Limbaugh said it one time too. He said if you cut welfare and you didn't give them money to eat, what would they do? They figure out a way to work.
That's
you might
right.
have a spike in crime at first.
Yeah.
You might have a spike in crime at first, maybe.
Oh, you will. They'll burn America down, but then if the white people still say no, then they'll have to start working and taking care of themselves.
Like they did in the 50s, what you said earlier.
Yeah.
They was better off back then
Yeah.
when they didn't have all these advantages because they had to make it work. You couldn't afford to go out and just populate the world with, kids that you wasn't taking care of, because then you would have a father who had taken care of all his kids who come after you with a shotgun. You don't have that accountability no more.
That's right.
You don't have that no more,
Amazing.
And so I just wanted to call in and say, I hate to say it, I felt kind of bad. You was like, yeah, the black women, you see what they're doing, you see the example she set. That's what I want to do. I want to homeschool my kids too. But like her, you like the black men. They are the ones who are out here begging, and look, I'm not going to say it, because you see a lot of black women begging, but I don't want to get into that discussion, but it's absolutely true. People are going through existential crises right now.
Amazing.
People who really believe in affirmative action and want it, and want that advantage.
Yeah. What a mess.
Are losing it right now.
Yeah.
And it is all for the best.
It is, man.
It's all for the best. It's going to better the country. It's going to make the country better.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. Take away all these advantages.
Nice.
And people going to have to hustle. People going to have to get better. They're going to have to do something to get to where they want to be. Fairly.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Charles, amazing call, man. Thank you, and good to hear from you.
Nice to hear you too, Jess. Talk to you later.
You too. Right on. See, he black. Kaya, as a black female, she's taking care of herself and her child, homeschooling and working. Black folk, it's way down in there. You can do it. Come on. You can do it. You say it 3 times. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Wall Street Journal /CNN. The Supreme Court has ruled that the First Amendment entitles a Christian web designer to refuse to make a same-sex wedding website. No more gay website if you don't want to make one. Wall Street Journal /CNN is reporting that the Supreme Court has ruled that the First Amendment entitles a Christian web designer to refuse to make a same-sex wedding website, making America great again. Maybe the Wall Street Journal, maybe the Supreme Court heard that the great white hope is on its way back. Oh, the war going up.
Basically, all I've done is keep my promise.
Wow, I kept my promise. Making America great again. 888-7753-773. Let me go to, there's one line open, by the way. Let me go to Tony out of California. Tony, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Tony. No, Tony. What the? The wall going up. Oh, the wall going up. Let me go to Hake and saying, come off of mute. Why do you think he was on mute? I didn't hear anything. What the? Let me go to Greg out of, he said that's why he didn't hear anything. Maybe he was on mute. I don't know. He don't even know how to, he need affirmative action to unmute his phone. What the? Greg out of South Carolina. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing?
All is well, sir.
All right. Hey, man, I was just calling to say thank you for that silent prayer. I don't do it every morning, every night, but it slowed me down, man. It gave me an amount of patience that it was beyond me. It wasn't even an idea. I had no idea it existed. It's like a new reality, and I want to say thanks, man. That's all.
You're welcome. And, for my understanding only, why don't you do it every morning? You know it's work. You know it's helping you. Why? And God said to pray without ceasing. Why don't you do it every morning and every night?
I'm not sure that I'm not praying without ceasing, meaning, I don't, because I don't overreact. I think you can, I don't want to, the last thing I want to be is some kind of false prophet because I'm probably misled, but I feel like I can sort of tap into like if God had a speed, it wouldn't be quick. It would be slow.
Right.
And you get more done.
Yeah.
It's a better way. But how you get there, silent prayer is amazing, but I don't know that it's
okay.
That's all. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, man. Amazing. Thank you, Greg. SD.
God bless, man.
You too, buddy.
Yep.
Slow down. Slow your roll. One step at a time, 1 minute at a time, one time at a time. There's no need to hurry. All right? 888-7753-773. Let me go to Jason. Hey, Jason, out of Buffalo.
What's up, dude? Hey, what's up? I want to ask you not the biblical question. What is perfect peace?
Something that you don't have.
You got to explain it more the better than that.
Why?
Because, I think everybody else want to know what you think of perfect peace.
Who all are you speaking for?
Like the dude that you said that didn't have perfect peace when I called you yesterday, you kept telling the dude that he don't have perfect peace.
You're speaking for him? You're speaking for him?
No, I don't know. That's like, I guess I can say that. I don't think he knew, how, I just want to know, what do you think it is? Because, you don't explain it. You don't go to detail. You're so vague. I know it's like your lack of education that got you the way that you are, but, people like details and, so they can understand. The more information that you get on something, the better you're able to understand it. You see what I'm saying? So
do you want perfect peace?
Oh, I told you before, perfect peace is death. You're not going to have perfect peace until you die.
Perfect peace, you say you're not going to have it until you die?
No, that is perfect peace. When you in order to be perfect, that means you cannot be disturbed.
Did you say that you're not going to have perfect peace until you die?
Yeah, I won't have perfect peace until death.
So then why do you want to know what it is since you know that you're not going to have it until you die? You seem to already know what it is. You said you're not going to have it until you die. So why don't you just wait until you die?
Because I want to pick your brain about perfect peace. You see, that's what I'm saying.
But why if you don't believe that you can have it until you die?
But I still like to have the knowledge, the information about perfect peace. You see, why? Because you talk about it all the time. It's like you talk about it all the time, and vocabulary words.
But if you already know the answer to it, you said you.
No, I don't. I don't know that. I don't know your answer. I don't know your version of it.
You said
that's what I did. Okay, go ahead.
You said Jason from Buffalo said he's not going to have perfect peace until he die. That you can't have it now. So since you already know that, you already have your answer to it, right?
Yeah, I have my answer, but I don't have
So
your
do
answer.
you love living an anxiety life right now?
I have no anxiety. I smoke enough weed, and I keep myself. I do things that I like to do. I have like reprieves and stuff like that, so I don't get bogged down. So I don't have that anxiety, that stress.
Really? So you smoke weed and do stuff to keep from. You smoke weed and do stuff to keep yourself from feeling the anxiety that you have.
I mean, I don't have that. That's why I don't. I mean, that's the thing. I don't have the anxiety.
If you didn't smoke the weed and do things to prevent from feeling it, would you have it?
I mean, I guess like it's not really like when I was like going through anxiety, it was mostly done by stress. Cause I've been in car accidents. Like I've been in like 3 car accidents in like the past 6 years.
Were you high?
Past 7 years. No, I was not high.
Oh.
They were all other people's fault.
Oh, they were all other people's fault. Amazing. Yeah. What do you think? Are you still living in the basement of your mother's house?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm trying. I don't know. I think she like. I mean, it's like, yeah. I'm still staying there. It's like I don't want to go nowhere though. It's like I'm writing. I'm doing like writing now. Oh, that's something else. I'm like writing stories.
And you don't want to go nowhere.
Stuff like that. I mean, it's like I'm comfortable. I'm able to do like I'm writing stories and like movies and stuff like that. Commercial ideas.
Does she want you to leave?
What I'm doing right now. I don't think so. You know, it's like she had that age. She kind of dependent on me now. So, like, I was dependent on her when I was younger. And, like, you know how karma is. So, like, if somebody does something,
who is karma?
To do something back to them.
Karma live there, too?
No, karma is what goes around comes around. That's what karma is. And so, like how she took care of me when I was young. Hold on, let me finish my point.
What do you
how
think
she took care of me when I was young. Hold on, let me finish my point. How she took care of me when I was younger, I'm able to do that for her now. You know, like she can't do stuff like the way she used to.
Where's her husband?
That's only fair. Oh, you was never married, so why are you going to talk about somebody else?
No, I'm going to ask her, where's her husband? Her husband's supposed to take care of his wife.
That's not the point. That's not that. You was never married, so why are you going to...
Let me ask you this. What do you think about, because of time, what do you think about affirmative action? Now the blacks have to earn their way into the white schools.
Blacks always had to earn their way.
No, they had affirmative action before. What do you think now that the blacks have to earn their way?
I mean, I feel like they always had to earn their way.
No, they're taking away affirmative, not because of what you felt. There was affirmative action where the whites would let the blacks in without them having to earn it. How you gonna
tell me, like, that's why I be having a problem with you. You like to tell me how I feel about stuff.
No,
like
I'm asking you, I'm asking, how do you feel that now affirmative action is taken away, the blacks can't get in because they're black? How do you feel about, what do you think about that?
That was the problem. That's why he created affirmative action, because there were systems in place. Some schools just like, even with qualified applications, you don't know the study I was taught. Like, you don't know the study I was done before affirmative action. You got them in. I could break it down for you like real quick. I don't know if it's like real quick. It might take a couple of minutes. I could break you down like the way.
You're not answering the question. I'm asking you, how did you feel now that the blacks have to earn?
Why you telling me how I feel and you tell people you're not supposed to feel?
It was a question.
I'm not going to answer. I'm not.
All right, bye. He want to argue. Remember he said he loved arguing? He loved arguing. I'm asking him a question, he's bitching. What the? Amazing. I want to tell you this. Speaking of affirmative action, see how the white people, you ever let the blacks in and they didn't earn it, and then when they get the little piece of paper, you vote for them to be mayor and president and stuff, and all they do is make things worse. Think about the blacks running the cities around the country right now. Are they getting it better? Are they getting any better? But you let them in based on affirmative action. And now the court said, no, we're tired of this mess. You're going to have to earn it. I want to show you what affirmative action can do for you. Eric Adams, a black man, the so-called mayor of New York, at one time was a so-called police officer or something there in New York. And some of you might remember we played that soundbite for you when he said, called the white officers or white crackers or something like that. Remember that? Well, according to Politico, Eric Adams, the black mayor of New York, affirmative action mayor. He black. Eric Adams apologized for comments he made in 2019 calling white NYPD officers crackers. So you let them in your schools because they're black, not because they can earn it. You let them run your country right into the ground because they're black, not because they're earning it. And they still call you names. They still call you names. Isn't that something? Think about that. You let Big Mama, the Father Messiah, Obama, and Big Mama Michelle in the White House based on affirmative action, and look what they did. The White House ain't been the same since. Well, New York Post is reporting Mayor Adams did not take kindly to one of his constituents wagging her finger at him and criticizing him for the city's new rent increase rules. Watch this from Twitter.
We're talking about the rent guidelines board. You said before and after that you supported those rent increases. In Nassau, they had a 0% rent increase. Why in New York City, where the real estate is controlling you, Mr. Mayor, why are we having these horrible rent increases last year and this year?
Okay, first, if you're going to ask a question, don't point at me and don't be disrespectful to me. I'm the mayor of this city, and treat me with the respect I deserve to be treated. I'm speaking to you as an adult. Don't stand in front like you treated someone that's on the plantation that you own. Give me the respect I deserve and engage in a conversation up here in Washington Heights. Treat me with the same level of respect I treat you. So don't be pointing at me. Don't be disrespectful to me. Speak with me as an adult because I'm a grown man. I walked into this room as a grown man, and I'm going to walk out of this room as a grown man. I answered your question.
And you got that for the mayor. That's affirmative action. And you vote these people in to run your country. You vote these people in to run your country. You can't blame anybody but yourself because you're afraid not to vote them in. All the wrong people in the right places to make sure America never returns again. He up there on an ego trip. All ego. Just because he a mayor, that don't mean nothing. You ain't doing no good job at all. What a sad country we live in. And white people, I blame y'all too. Because you vote these people in. And you already know they ain't gonna do nothing but turn the whole country into a hood. And yet you vote them in because you're afraid. Remember, you're afraid of being called racist. Remember when we showed you this video the other day of a white man down in Florida, I believe. Some black guy was threatening them with a knife or something. I forgot the details, so I may be wrong with some of what happened. And they called the police on the black man. The police came and arrested the black man. And the white man started crying. No, I don't want to be arrested. He may think I'm a racist. Oh, his condition. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. Quick break. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry. because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have the sex. You don't wanna be angry. You wanna speak up. You wanna disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear, you won't have doubt, you won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you gotta stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. It's amazing. Listen up. Hold up for a minute. White History Month shirts are available. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Run. Don't walk. And get your White History Month shirts. We have a limited supply because like special thing that we do, right? So we have a limited supply of colors and sizes. Tomorrow is July, the beginning of White History Month. Amazing it came so fast. 6 years of celebrating White History Month. July just feels white. And they celebrate everything else but White History Month. What the most important thing. So we've decided to do it. So go to whitehistorymonth.stores, whitehistorymonth.store, and get your White History Month shirt. Limited supplies of colors and sizes, all right? Because it's White History Month. What the? And so, for personalized shout-outs, 4th of July shout-outs, birthday shout-out, White History Month shout-outs, wedding shout-out, whatever the occasion is, congratulations. Go to Cameo. I do them myself. Go to cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Cameo. CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And for the super chatters, donate and have your comments read out loud. Go to jesseleepeterson.live, jesseleepeterson.live, buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And you can also support us by going to cash.app/Bond JLP, cash.app/Bond JLP. We're here Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. Let me go to Romania and talk to John. Hey, John, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Mr. Peterson.
Hey, John, how you doing?
All is well.
Nice.
Kind of, almost. I called firstly just to thank you about the shirts you sent me. They're really nice, the t-shirts.
Oh, right on, man. Amazing.
Yeah. I'm just about to give a shirt to one of my friends. So I'm pretty excited about it. They seem really nice.
Right on, man.
The message, the print, and all of it.
Right on. You're welcome. Absolutely. Enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Right on.
How are you?
Amazing. Happy White History Month.
Thank you. In Romania, there is no such thing.
It is
I
now.
think mostly because everyone is black, white. I mean, but there is no Black History Month either. So
nice.
We're very impartial.
Right on, man. That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Also, secondly, I called to talk about my grandfather, who's passed away on the 1st. He died. He dead.
He did. May his soul rest in peace.
He did. God is with him.
Yeah.
Or he is with God. Probably. I should think so.
Yeah, he looking up to God.
Yeah, I think they're looking at each other in some sense.
Right on.
I wanted to ask you something about these past weeks, even during my grandfather's hospitalization with quote-unquote COVID, because that's why he was hospitalized from. And when he was in the hospital, more or less I kept trying to tell my mother and aunt that we should move him, that he's not treated well. He was 95 years old, so...
A long life, man.
Yeah, really. But taking into consideration, he still had a very much rather brilliant mind. If you had the patience with him to listen to him and to help him formulate his ideas, he almost every time offered you an answer that would stagger you, because you didn't expect that from a 95-year-old. I wasn't so staggered because I knew him. But I being the nephew, didn't have, I don't know what's it called, a right to make decisions.
Right.
His closest, like his wife or his daughters, would be the ones appointed to do such things. But every time I try to ask them, try to tell them that we should move him, they jumped me like I was telling them they're not doing enough.
Yeah.
They got mad and on, everyone. It was like my aunt, my mother, and my grandmother were like three snakes. One snake eating one snake that eats another snake that eats the first snake.
What a mess!
Really, I couldn't face them. Maybe that's my weakness, but I couldn't face them because they got me mad as well. I tried to keep calm, but they just kept on ramping up, and I couldn't face them. In the end, he was treated not very friendly, how he should have been treated by the nurses, by the doctors, by everybody around them. I heard from my father that dementia comes when you're forced to do things you don't want to. And I believe that my grandfather, he was very conscious. He tried to help the nurses when they were trying to help him, but they wouldn't listen to him, and that maybe jumbled up his mind. I believe. I don't know. But I assume.
You assume, never assume.
I assume. But I've tried to visit him every day I could, but because of the COVID rules and so on, you were only allowed to visit from 2 to 7 or something like that daily, and every third day there was a guard that wouldn't let more than one visitor per patient per day. The other ones were all right, one visitor per patient at a time. So that visitor had to came out, and then the second visitor would go in. But on the third day, it was all per day, which I didn't really understand. But anyway, I tried to visit him as many times as I could. But the question would be that I really felt helpless. I mean, when I talked to him, I felt like he would like to get out. He still wanted to go out. He was still bothered by things happening around them, like something about the salaries of the nurses and the assistants, or what they're called, being small so that they rely on the money you give them. And that makes some sense, because she was preoccupied with something that was real in front of him. Even on the last day I saw him, I visited him outside of the visiting hours because the doctor said so. And when the nurses kicked me out, he sort of jumped out of the bed like, what the fuck is this? Why are you acting like this? He even said, in Romanian, translated, he jumped the nurses like, what is this? Why are you acting like this? But they didn't mind. They
Amazing.
were not bothered.
And so your question for me is what?
I sort of have this feeling towards my mother, my grandmother, and my aunt, that maybe they should have listened to me more. And even I even told them, drop your goddamn anger.
Oh, you can't be cursing right on the air.
Look, that's a curse as well?
Yeah.
GD?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And not
I know
for
about
me,
the first one. I didn't know about the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, about this, what's it called? About their anger. I told them to drop it because it's not helping anyone, and the problem that is at hand is somewhat different than what they are preoccupied about.
Yeah.
On the first day she was hospitalized, I told my aunt and the nurses to let me talk with him, because he seems to respond in the sense that he's paying attention to what he's saying, not just saying things to get away and maybe not bother someone. Because I wanted to also call you about this stuff before. My grandfather is the last person I saw, the last man I saw, to kiss a woman's hand when he greets them. Doesn't matter if they're married or not. That's the salute you do to a woman.
Yeah.
You take her hand, you kiss it, and that's it. The husband doesn't have to be upset about anything. That's just the polite way to do it. He was very preoccupied. He was very present. The circulation was bad and everything else was very bad, but his mind was still doing wonders.
And so your question for me is what?
Is there anything to hold against my aunt's mother and grandmother?
No.
I know there isn't, but at the time I'm saying it, I know there isn't.
No, let it go, John. Let it go. It was out of your control. Then because your mother, it was your mother's father, I guess. And
yes,
and
my mother and my aunt.
Yeah, so there was nothing you can do about it. Let it go. There's never, ever, 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 but never, 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 ever a reason to be angry. Anger is evil. And so don't let the devil seduce you into being angry. You did the best you can do. Let it go. That doesn't mean you got to hang out with them. That doesn't mean you got to agree with them. But let it go, because it's hard for women to follow clear and good instruction until they overcome their anger. It's hard for them. So they cannot help themselves. They couldn't take good advice because Satan is their daddy. And so I would urge you, you had your time with your grandfather, you learned from him, you had a chance to enjoy. So let it go and just be grateful and move on and live your life.
Yeah, I assume that's the right way to go about it.
Yeah. Yeah, let it go. Don't let the devil cause you to focus or hold on to those ideas at all. It's a setup, and he's tempted to bring you back into hell. Don't fall for it. All right?
Yeah, I understand. And sometimes I've, let's say, rewinded this conversation with you in my head, and then I've came to the same conclusion.
Yeah, let it go. Now, all thoughts are all lies all the time. We have to, in order to live, you got to die from thoughts. So don't trust them.
That's the thing that kept me going throughout this time, realizing that when I had some anger or some negative emotion towards anyone that isn't me,
Yeah,
even towards the death of my grandfather,
that's right.
I've kept repeating to myself that the pain, the suffering isn't me. The pain is mine because it is what it is.
Yeah, it's in the body, but
the
it's not
suffering
you.
itself. Sorry?
It's in the pain is in the body because it comes from the mind, but it's not you at all. I promise you, it's not you.
Yeah, if you can relate the body to the relationship with one's grandfather, then yes, maybe the pain is of the body.
Yeah,
because it's just the pain that you're missing someone dear.
Absolutely.
But the suffering itself is something different, because if you choose to suffer, then you become sad and you become melancholic and so on and so forth.
That's right.
If you're just in pain, the only thing that comes out maybe is just some tears.
Yeah, and let it pass, man.
Watery eyes.
I might have to run, John, because of time here, but let that pass, man, and go and live your life. Be grateful you had your time with your grandfather. And now he's gone. He had a long life. He's from the old school, long life. And so now it's time for you to have a long life. So let it go.
Yeah, sure.
All right?
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, John. It's good talking to you, man. I'm glad you received the package.
Yeah, me too.
All right,
I'll call you again.
Okay. Take care.
Okay.
All right.
Take care. Cheers to all of you.
All right. You too, buddy. Bye. Amazing. Let it go. There's never, ever, 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 ever a reason to be angry. Zero. Just in another Supreme Court win, right on. Reuters is reporting U.S. Supreme Court blocked Biden's student loan forgiveness plan to cancel $430 billion in student loan debt. Amazing! Nice. Who would have paid for your stupid education? A dumb piece of paper. Get a job, pay for your own schooling. So according to Reuters, another win for America. U.S. Supreme Court blocked Biden's student loan forgiveness plan to cancel $430 billion in student loan debt. It was a waste of time to go to college anyway. What the? And the Wall Street Journal reported, CNN reported that the Supreme Court has ruled that the First Amendment entitles a Christian web designer to refuse to make a same-sex wedding website. Another win for America. Amazing. Making America great again. Before I go back to the callers and your super chats, I want to show you what evil looked like. Another example, many examples, but an example of what evil looked like. An insane black female. Insane, just pure insanity. Evil. Evil is the best word because it's truly what's going on. You're either of evil or of good. There's no gray area. Zero. You're either of evil or of good. And most people love their evil. Here's an example from Fox. A debate over funding more policing caused Wisconsin State Senator LaToya Johnson to condemn suburban areas of her state. Watch this from WISI.
The
Watch
suburbs.
This.
Because they don't know a goddamn thing about how life is in the city. The suburbs. Because they don't know a goddamn thing.
That's a so-called state representative out of Wisconsin. She's mad because they want to fund more policing. And these are the people that you vote to run your country. Now you see why we need White History Month? All the wrong people in the right places to make sure that my country is never great again. It's never great again. White people, when will you stop running? When will you speak up? When will you get involved? Meaning, run for office, take back your country. That's a so-called, that's affirmative action, baby. A senator, a Wisconsin state representative, LaToya Johnson. She didn't even comb her hair. She said, F the suburbs. Now you see why the black children are so messed up? This is why they out there killing one another, robbing, stealing, and killing, and dancing on police cars and running from the cops. And it ain't got nothing to do with the cops, it's them. That's not racism. That's evil. The Daily Loud is reporting. A woman is going viral for burying. A woman is going viral for burying her recent deceased mother in her backyard. Watch this from TikTok. She buried her mama in the backyard. Talk about keeping mama close to you. A mama's love is so special. It's the kind of love that stays with you until the day you die. She done buried her mama in the backyard. Now she's dancing. Hake says she's in the way. A mama in the way forever. She can go out there and have coffee with mama now and a drink. One more hour to go, back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
That anti-Trump classified documents probe is ongoing, I guess. I thought it was more than a probe. I thought there were charges. And France, there's a mess going on in France, almost like what happened in America in 2020 with that Black Lives Matter insurrection across the country. And did Madonna have a health scare? There's a shortage of sriracha sauce. Sriracha, they call it. Whatever, that Asian hot sauce stuff. And Overstock.com is changing its name to Bed Bath & Beyond after they bought Bed Bath & Beyond. And some other mess continue with bad air quality thanks to those Canadian wildfires. I wonder what maybe they should have raked the leaves and chopped up, mowed the lawns or something like that in the forest. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Friday. Get it off your chest Friday, June 30th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 3. Last hour of JLP is coming right up. The lines are full, guys. But you can call in as lines do open up with JLP talking to them. But first, Hake news, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, thehakereport.com. And after the Hake Report at noon Pacific time today, the fallen state with those two blacks, guy and gal. Should be entertaining, right? Should be pretty deep, maybe even. Nice. TheFallenState.tv streams on multiple platforms, and it premieres on the Fallen State YouTube channel. You can become a member. And then at 4 p.m. Pacific time, American Anchor Baby is going up in the airplane. Nick Stream. You can super chat him to get a first-class ticket. Nice. Go on up over there. And then, of course, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Sunday, which was the second day of White History Month, by the way. Tomorrow is White History Month. You can go to whitehistorymonth.store to get your White History Month t-shirt. Put it on order. Limited availability. And, of course, next week is the Men's Forum, I do believe, first Thursday of the month, the 6th. Invasive anti-Trump probe coming. Nonsense Network CNN reports new developments unfolding in our greatest president, Donald J. Trump's various legal battles. Whole lot of political persecution, right? The special counsel's office continuing to investigate his handling of classified documents after his presidency ended, despite the former president's indictment last month. That includes continued grand jury activity in Florida and inquiries of witnesses. Not clear what aspects of the investigation prosecutors are still pushing toward. In general, it's not unheard of for investigators working on a case to continue asking questions following the final filing of initial charges, but it's unusual since our greatest president is still vying for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. Probably will get it, I think. Top Trump aide Susie Wiles, S-U-S-I-E, met numerous times with federal investigators. Is she a traitor? Don't trust a woman. That's his fault. But anyway, I don't know if she's a traitor, though. Involved in the probe, and that was allegedly shown a classified map by Trump after he left office. Our greatest president's campaign official, Mike Roman, is cooperating with prosecutors in the ongoing so-called criminal probe related to efforts to overturn the 2020 election shenanigans, which was totally on the up and up, most secure in history. France, I say that for the sake of the channels, right? France, and because it's true. France, more than 400 people were arrested across France yesterday, Thursday, as a wave of protests, riots, really, insurrections, really, swept the country for a third night following the fatal police shooting of a teenage boy, not white, not a white French boy, captured on video. Unrest broke out Tuesday just hours after a police traffic stop in Nanterre resulted in the killing of probably a justified killing, my guess, but I don't know, of a 17-year-old named Nahel, N-A-H-E-L, Nahel. Keyword hell. No, I'm just kidding. Rest in peace, young man. The incident raised questions about whether racism played a role in his death. Oh, Lord. Meaning they hate white people and police. Whether the police officer who shot him was acting illegally, don't know. Thursday, an estimated 6,000 people joined a march to honor the teen. President Emmanuel Macron will reportedly hold a crisis meeting today for the second day in a row following the violence, and has urged citizens to let the justice system handle the situation. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
got to stand up strong. Face the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Amazing. I can't believe that woman to bury her mama in the backyard. What the?
What the?
Talk about a mama's love. A mama's love is so special. My mama don't like you, and she likes everyone. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week: what are you committed to? What are you committed to? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, stuck in the airport somewhere, whatever, you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad live while you're working out, whatever you might be doing, laying up at a beach, by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us, Jesse Lee Peterson, on Instagram and rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Follow, like, ring the bell, subscribe, all those good things. Also, it's Friday. And every Friday is Get It Off Your Chest Friday. It is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
Respect the nature and respect the wildlife. But Yellowstone officials actually say lately there have been so many egregious actions they were compelled to release a public statement.
What the?
Oh. Social media got us doing some crazy shit for likes.
Yeah.
Last year, this woman at a Texas national park tried sneaking by a bison.
Oh, no.
She was gored in the back and spent 6 days in the hospital.
Terrifying moments for a group visiting Yellowstone National Park. A bison just feet away, charging its target, a 9-year-old little girl.
I'm going to say 2 words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. Then I want you to take them out of the office with you and incorporate them into your life. Okay, here they are. Stop it!
Oh, what the? Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. I want to, just before the last at the end of the last hour there, I showed you what evil looked like. I'm blown away by it. It is pure evil. Imagine, and I'm going to replay it for you, this black female, so-called state representative. She is a so-called state representative. And she's standing up there on the floor cussing at the white folks because they want to bring back the police, fund policing. I want you to see what evil looked like. This was happening in the homes, and this is why the children and the black children and the black grandchildren lives are all screwed up. It ain't got nothing to do with white folks. It ain't got nothing to do with racism. No isms at all. It's because of evil women like this. This is from Fox. A debate over funding more policing caused Wisconsin State so-called Senator LaTanya Johnson to condemn suburban areas of her state. Watch this from WII.
The suburbs. Because they don't know a goddamn thing.
Wow.
About how life is in the city.
Yeah, they play
the
that
suburbs. Because they don't know a goddamn thing.
And the people just sitting there so quiet about it, they're scared to say anything. Can you imagine if a white woman has stood up and said, F the hood, F the inner cities, because they don't know a GD thing? What do you think would be happening today? Oh, Lord, not joy, Lord. And these people running my country, you let them in. And another, what seemed like a black woman, she looked black to me, to bury her mama in the backyard. Now she got to look at mama every day for the rest of her life, unless they make her move it. Who's going to buy that house and mama bury it in the backyard? Mama dead, but long live mama.
What the?
Watch this from the Daily Loud. A woman is going viral for burying her recent deceased mama in her backyard. Watch this from TikTok. And she partying. Is she crazy or what? Now she got to wake up every day, look in the backyard, and mama right there. Grandpa, tell me about them good old days when the world, it seemed like the world gone crazy. Evil women with evil ideas. One more quick example. Men, y'all need to wake up. The women need you to wake up. If ever they needed you, they need you now. This is from Outkick and Epic Times. The Michigan House passed a hate speech bill that would make it a felony to cause someone to feel threatened by words. If you just feel it. A convicted a convicted violator could receive a fine of up to $10,000, up to 5 years in prison, or both. Watch this from CBS.
The Capitol, a bill to expand Michigan's laws against hate crimes, is gaining momentum.
After passing the House, the legislation now moves to the Senate.
The Michigan House passed legislation on Tuesday that would expand Michigan's 1988 ethnic intimidation law, allow prosecutors more power when it comes to vandalism at places of worship, and include gay, transgender, and senior individuals.
We know that at this time in history, extremism is on the rise, but also our hate speech has translated into hate actions that put our most vulnerable populations at risk.
The bill passed the House in a 59-50 vote on the heels of disturbing threats made against an East Lansing synagogue. In his remarks on the House floor Tuesday, bill sponsor Noah Arbit reiterated why he feels this legislation is particularly important.
I'm sick of checking for hiding spots at the gay bar should a gunman open fire. I'm sick of my Chaldean constituents being murdered at their places of business. I'm sick of reading headlines about mosques, churches, and gurdwaras being vandalized and desecrated.
Threats and violence and things of that nature and protecting against crime is certainly something that we absolutely should be doing in Michigan, but we shouldn't be building that around an individual's feelings of being frightened.
We fully expect success in the Senate and all the way to the governor's desk.
Wow. And you vote them in to run your country. It's not in the woman's nature to lead. It's in her nature to follow, not to lead. And you put them in a leadership role, and you wonder why things are so screwed up. Wonder no more. All the wrong people in the right places to make sure my country never returns. You still think the country going to get better one day? The Epoch Times has reported that Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, a Democrat, testified that Michigan has the 5th highest number of hate crimes in the United States. This is why they want you fighting amongst yourselves, fighting one another, so that while you're fighting one another, they come up with stupid laws like this. Oh, but you're fighting because you won't take control of your own life. And this evil woman, Dana Nessel, here are some of Dana Nessel's views. Watch this compilation.
Dana Nessel broke the glass ceiling here in Lansing. She was the first gay person elected to statewide office.
Thank you for being my best friend, my confidant, and my soulmate. Hope over fear, unity over division, science over ignorance, equality over bigotry and racism, and democracy over fascism.
Attorney General Nessel also believes in part that Republican rhetoric has boosted the number of death threats against female office holders in Michigan.
We don't see those same level of death threats against men who hold elected office. And so for some reason, and I think it's part of the narrative circulated by the Republican Party,
these really far-right radical ideas.
Republicans say she's turned sexual harassment into sort of a joke, and they say it's no laughing matter. Take a look. Does this ad get your attention? Does it get your vote?
When you're choosing Michigan's next Attorney General, ask yourself this. Who can you trust most not to show you their penis in a professional setting?
The reason that sexual harassment has been allowed to flourish over the course of many years is that we don't have enough women in positions of authority.
Dana Nessel's ad goes even further.
Is it the candidate who doesn't have a penis? I'd say so.
It's never the wrong time to fight for equal rights and equal dignity for all people.
Amazing. Now, you Christians, do y'all think you should not be running for office? You still believe that? That's what you're getting. No wonder they don't want you to, they want to pass a law, so-called hate speech, because they don't want you to disagree. Anyone that disagrees, they'll call you hateful and put you in jail. And you vote them in. And you vote them in. Another example of an evil, nasty. The God above is the man's God. The God below the devil is the woman's God until she's born of the Father, back to the Father. And this is what you're getting. Another example of an evil, nasty, dirty female from the Western Journal reported on Monday, co-host of The View, Anna Navarro, made an emotional defense of Joe Biden and his son, Hunter. Watch this compilation.
Have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
Did Hunter Biden commit a crime?
Proud my son.
Are you confident your son Hunter did nothing wrong?
I'm confident.
You still think that the stories from the fall about your son Hunter were Russian disinformation at his smear campaign, like you said?
Yes. God love you, man. You're a one-horse pony.
President Biden, how involved were you in your son's Chinese shakedown text message? Were you sitting there? Were you involved?
No, I wasn't. And I don't.
Were you?
No.
The Hunter Biden story, the scandal, the this, the that, it's also the story of a father's love. And Joe Biden has never and will never give up on his son Hunter, and will never treat him lesser than. And so he is a father first. Take it or leave it. That's who he is. That is part of his heart.
Amazing. What a nasty, evil woman. Does she feel that way about the Great White Hope and his children? Look what they're trying to do to the Great White Hope. Does she feel that way about the Great White Hope and his children? And I'm being told she's supposed to be a Republican. What the? Or at least used to be. And that she went crazy against the Great White Hope, Trump. According to the Wikipedia, this woman is from that nasty Navarro woman from The View. She's from Nicaragua.
What the?
What the? Another foreigner running out of a country. Well, she's not running the country, but she's a View. And according to Wikipedia, if it's correct, she's a Republican to this day, as Hake would say. Men, if not now, when will you wake up? 888-7753-773. All the wrong people in the right places. That woman from Nicaragua, we need to send her back. Real fast. Anyway, Carl is a first-time call out of Oregon. Carl, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How's it going, Jesse?
All this well, sir.
Awesome. So my question today is, what's your opinion on when Jesus says, "I am the way, the only way, and the truth"?
That's true.
Right? Because I've been following you for about 2 months now, and I've realized, like, just some of the things you say, so I don't know, because with me, I went from being a Catholic to just feeling like I was never good enough, like I'd go to hell if I died that day. And so over time, I just kind of let that go, and then I came back to it. And then I went to, like, spirituality, and then I was like, this isn't for me. So then I'm back at Christianity, and now I like the fact that, you know, the way that you talk about it, which is the silent prayer, and kind of don't, because I'll pray and stuff, and then I'll go off of my thoughts. Like, I'll hear a voice in my head, and I'm like, is that God? Now I'm getting confused. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, stay with the silent prayer. And one thing for sure, and without a doubt, all thought, except for practical thoughts, all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. And if you just watch them and know that they are not yours and not you, you will die from them and you will be free. It's going to be amazing.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Stay with it, buddy.
I appreciate it, brother.
Okay.
God bless. Have a good one.
You too now. All thoughts are all lie. I wish you could see that, folks. And those who are seeing it are waking up. All thoughts are all lies about anything. You need to die from thoughts. And when you die from thoughts, you shall live. You shall live. All people who are involved in thoughts are spiritually dead. Dead. Your eyes are open and you're barely breathing, but you're dead. You're blind. You're worshiping the devil. You are worshiping the devil. Isn't that amazing? Worshiping the devil and calling him God. Let me go to Ron out of Texas. Ron, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Uncle Jesse.
Hey, Ron.
How are you?
All is well.
Hey, I just want to ask you one question. Do you agree with Thomas Sowell when he said during World War I, the black soldiers, the black northern soldiers, scored higher on the aptitude test than the white southern soldiers? Do you agree with him?
I didn't hear him say that, so I neither agree or disagree.
Oh, okay. You need to check into it. He said it.
Okay. Thanks, Ron. I appreciate it, buddy. Amazing. Thomas Sowell is a smart guy. Thank you, Ron. Sam is out of Florida. Sam, there's one line open, 888-7753-773. Sam, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how are you? How are you?
All is well, Sam.
I don't have that down yet. Let me pull over. I hope I'm not getting pulled over. Okay. All right, police officer. I wasn't on my phone. Okay, I'm back. Hey. Whew, what a day.
Amazing.
You there?
I am. Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, you know what? I just would like to, I called a long time ago. I was the writer. Didn't want to do any more woke writing. And you gave me some good advice. You said, just don't do it. God will find a way. And, yeah, I have a great life, great wife.
Sam, hold on for me, buddy.
Great family, great career.
Sam, hold on. Hold on 1 minute. Yeah. Ada, I forgot. We're going to get you your super chats. And, we don't open the church just to the bottom of the hour, right, Hake? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was about it. Did you get your Trump Amerifro thing yet? You growing that out?
Oh, I did. Yeah, thank you. I mentioned that the other day. And I'm going to show it to the audience. I'm letting the hair grow out, and then I show it to the audience. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that.
No problem. I'm thinking about getting myself one, and we could have a contest who could grow the bigger Amerifro on Trump.
That's amazing. I sure did, man. Thank you so much for it. And happy White Houston month to you.
Oh, thanks. Same to you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. You know, whenever I tithe, I just want to tell your listeners this because I know some tithe, some don't. I actually have more money when I remember to tithe. I try to send, what I can to your show and stuff. But it could be any Christian church or these, Christian and Jew fellowship type organizations. And so when I remember to tithe, it's like any kind of curse of not having enough is just broken. So it's great that I have, money in my account, and want to throw that out there.
Right on. Thank you, Sam. I absolutely appreciate
you got it, man.
And
we really appreciate you too. And that Get a Job is hilarious.
He is amazing. Check out Get a Job. He is amazing.
Get a Job.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, you're amazing.
Amazing. Thank you, Sam.
Take care of yourself.
You too, buddy.
Ready.
All right.
Back.
Bye now. Amazing. Get a Job. Check him out. He really does do. And I've never met him as far as I know, but he does amazing work. Let me go to Angie, a first-time caller out of North Carolina. Angie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you. How are you doing?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
Jesse, you are amazing. I appreciate all your work that you do. I love the interview with the Masons, the Master Mason. That was a great interview I watched.
Thank you.
And we're in Asheville. We're a Trump supporter, but we're actually really just a conservative Republican. We just want the America to do good. We want a better administration.
Yeah.
We just appreciate your voice out there for us and the stuff that's going on out here, how wrong it is for us.
What a mess.
We are still one nation under God. We are in God we trust. We never hear that from this administration anymore. But we need that back in our country.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that the country will ever be great again?
I believe if we keep in prayer, I believe we can do that.
But will it become great if we don't get Christians to run for government, to get involved so that the right kind of law can be established instead of all these evil laws that they're making now?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it could be better if we get the right people in there that trust in our culture, where we were founded on.
Yeah, absolutely.
They twisted our history so much, Jesse. It's pitiful, actually. We're not racist people. We aren't racist from any culture. We accept all.
Plus, and there's no such thing as racist anyway. It's just a made-up lie in order it's made up to divide and control the people, to make them fight one another so they can pass insane laws. And the people are fighting one another over nothing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you believe that something's happened since the last World Economic Forum, that they decided to do this trans thing into the world to push it?
Yeah, and I was asking the other day, while they are pushing this insane idea of LGBT trans stuff, who's running this? Who is behind all this, Because
right, and look at but look who's at the World Economic Forum, head of it, how weird he is. But the other thing is that it is smoke and mirrors, don't you think, somewhat?
I don't know all the details of it, but I do know, Angie, that it's evil. It's pure.
It is evil.
It's pure, outright evil. And Angie, thank you so much for your call. I do appreciate it.
I do, you too.
All right.
Jesse, keep up
I
the
will.
good work.
Thank you.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th to you. That's right. Happy 4th. What a mess. If you're not going to wake up now, when? If not now, when? Let me take a quick break. There's one line open, 888-77-53773. I'll be back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, But because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Here is the rundown for today. At the top of this hour, the Hake Report.com. The Hake. HAKE Report.com is coming up right after my show at the top of this hour from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And James Hake is on fire. And at 12 noon Pacific time, a brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. The FallenState.tv. I talked to a very amazing discussion with Sibo and Snapper from the Sibo and Snapper YouTube channel. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
You obey him?
I'm not too fond of the word obey.
And have you forgiven your mother?
She's 83.
Well, you better tell her before she dies.
Stop it.
You gotta forgive your mother, man. You just like her. I see her in you.
Would you ever get married or no?
I don't want that hell in my life. Can't you tell you're afraid of his mama?
Oh, no, not afraid. According to the show, we're supposed to be on politics. I didn't know we were coming to just the show for this.
I know, me either. What the? The FallenState.tv today at 12 noon, brand new episode. Telephone, telegraph, tell a woman. 3 ways of communication. And don't forget, you can support the Fallen State by becoming a member on the YouTube channel there. All right, so thank you. And at 4 p.m. today, Pacific time, the American Anchor Baby show. The American Anchor Baby. At 4 p.m. Pacific time. You don't want to miss it. You got to be flying high. Don't be late. Not high of pot, but high of natural energy. The energy of God. The energy of love. Perfect love. The American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. today. At Sunday morning, Fellowship for All. Fellowship for All. At 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church for more information. If you're in the LA area, come on down. Doors open at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. And last but not least, hurry, hurry, hurry. Rush, rush, rush. and get your White History Month shirts. Tomorrow is the first day of White History Month. July just feels white. Make sure you don't wait. We have a limited supply of colors and sizes. Go to whitehistorymonth.store. Whitehistorymonth.store. All right? In White History, July just feels white. So a lot going on today, folks. White babies! White babies now, white babies forever. Super chat. Super. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I'm black and slow, the treasure chest is now open. What the? Amazing.
Nice.
What? Okay. Super chat.
Celebrate with all of my friends.
Nice.
On DLive, Evgeny Crosby. I am remiss in not reading Evgeny Crosby's super chat from earlier. He says, Big Mama Michelle has Alfred jerky in her pants. And I disavow that.
Go to BigClubUSA.com for your Alpha jerky. Big
Tell me I have a lot of Alpha energy. Jesse, what gives you so much Alpha energy, they say? Is it energy drinks? No. Is it cigars? No. It's Alpha Jerky. Alpha Jerky from Big Club USA. Alpha male, and you can have Alpha Jerky energy too. Amazing.
Nice. Check out BigClubUSA.com and put in the promo code JLP33 for 15% off of your purchase, all right? Good. Amazing.
Coffee Talk with Sandra donated 3 diamonds on DLive.tv, saying she emailed us. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that, Sandra.
John WX25 says, first, no affirmative action. Now the blats and no good whites gots to pay the loans back. Oh, snap.
Thank you. Oh, they're going to be ticked. Can you imagine the blacks are mad because they can't get into the school based on their color? And they're mad. They're not saying, okay, that's fine. We can earn our own way. We can do it too. But no, we can't do it. We're not smart as the white people and the Asians and the Hispanics. Let us in. And now they're saying, and somebody, one of those soundbites we played there, it says something down that the enrollment for the blacks would go down. That happened at UCLA at one time when they ended affirmative action for a minute there. The black enrollment went down because they couldn't get into the school. They didn't qualify.
Yep.
Remember that?
Sounds familiar.
They're not saying, you know what, the blacks going to earn their way. They're going to get into it. They can do it. They can study and pass a test and get in. They're like, the enrollment going down now. They're admitting it. They're saying the blacks are dumb. Anyway, thank you.
Prefam Paul. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, man. On Rumble. Gave a Rumble rant donation saying, met you on AA flight, American Airlines, not Alcoholics Anonymous. I was the attendant, showed you the quote-unquote conservative flag wings some of us wear. Thanks for all you do. To the homeschooler mother, look up homeschool groups/orgs in her state for help. That's to Kaya.
You hear that, Kaya?
In South Carolina.
Homeschool what?
Groups/organizations in her state for help.
Right. What's her name?
Kaya.
No, the young lady.
This is Paul, actually. Prefam Paul.
Paul. I totally remember that. That was an amazing flight. It's good to hear from you again. What the?
Yeah, that's
fun.
cool.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. It was good to meet you. Thank you so much. I do remember. I'm black and slow, but not that black and slow. What the? I remember. Thank you.
The magic is he or she didn't ask, remember?
No.
Didn't say, remember?
If they asked me, do you remember, I would have forgotten.
Right. It makes you go blank.
Yeah. Amazing.
Star Peterson Sion bought a couple of coffees on buymeacoffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson.
Nice.
Saying, does he love me? I want to know. Mike emoji, 2-note emoji, 3-note emoji, 2-note emoji. How can I tell if he loves me so? Jesse, do you remember the Shoop Shoop song?
Shoop Shoop?
Yeah.
See, you don't have to do I remember.
It's in his kiss. That's where it is.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now. Amazing. Thank you. And that song, Does She Love Me, is Whitney Houston, right? I want to know if she really loves me.
Yeah.
I sing a song.
That's a separate song from the Shoop Shoop song, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I told you.
Every time my woman asks me, do you love me? No. When my woman asks, how would I know if you love me? I said, because I told you so.
B word? I disavow.
How will I know if you love me? Because I told you so. What the? Amazing. Thank you.
The other coffee from Star Sion saying, Jesse doesn't judge. He is so patient. I love him. Smiling face with stars for eyes emoji. But it's so hard to be patient with these people out here.
It's not hard if you don't have anger. And then once you don't have anger, you start to see that it's not the people, the physical person. It's the spirit of evil that is operated through the person or the people, and they can't help it. They cannot see. And so as a result, you can't judge them because they just can't see. But you got to get rid of anger, and anyone that has anger has no patience, because patience is from God, is of God. And you make a good point too, Sia, because God doesn't judge us either, because he knows that it's not us. We're neither guilty nor innocent, because it's not us. It's that thing that made a home and imagination. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. All thoughts are all lies all the time. You know, I had planned, and thank you, Sia, I had planned to have my experts in about the affirmative action thing. I totally forgot. And I forgot to tell Sean, my producer, so he can remind me. But I'll get them in on Monday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, and we'll discuss from the experts' point of view, the whole affirmative action and all these other very nice rulings the courts have passed down. You don't have to make a gay website. You don't have to, you got to pay these people bills for this stupid so-called college education. They had to be going there if they couldn't afford it, or let them work their way through college. What the? But anyway, thank you.
Prince Vibes on Streamlabs. Why?
Why, George? Why?
And she spelled it Y instead of why. Didn't Michelle tweet from her mansion? They'd open a school with a K, school, in Chicago to prep teens for college at an affordable/free price. They cry racism but won't lead their people to rise on their own. Black burning down over AA, affirmative action, ain't even in school themselves. What the?
It's going to be a long, hot summer. Thank you.
Michelle, the rock of the Obama family.
Terrible.
What a mess.
Based Nation on Rumble says 888.
Thank you.
77. Jesse,
Oh.
I don't know if, I guess that's
the phone number here.
Yeah.
888-77-53-773. 888-77-JESSE.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
On Streamlabs, The Key writes, Jesse, do you agree spirit and truth cause a falling away from all traditions, including birthdays, holidays, etc.? Why celebrate the fallen state, flesh birth? When you have no beginning, there is no end, like father, like son.
Amazing. Thank you.
Well, he asked if you agree. He or she asked if you agree.
If I agree to what?
That it calls you a fall away from the traditions like birthdays and holidays.
What caused that?
The spirit and truth.
Yes.
Nice.
And you will have the right relationship with it. You won't worship in it. You appreciate it. Absolutely.
Is that why, like, Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays or holidays?
No, Jehovah's Witnesses crazy. That's a different story.
Muscle Mental donated a generous donation on Streamlabs, JesseLeePeterson.live, saying, amazing show.
Amazing. Thank you.
Powers That Bear donated a diamond. No message. Thank you, man.
Amazing. Thank you, man.
And thank you for the top contributors on D Live. Coffee Talk with Sandra, Henry Ford Lives, Powers That Bear, Evgeny Crosby, Games for Rex, Savage Pitbull, Kid Combo 1, Diane D, not Dylan D, Wrinklehands Bing Bong, and Cha Money. Appreciate the support, guys.
Amazing.
And one question on YouTube.
Thank you so much.
One question from yesterday on YouTube.
Okay.
I think it was YouTube. How do you deal with people that have hurt you?
By not dealing with them and realizing there is no such thing as hurting you. That's such a good question because it's bringing kind of different things to my mind. Anyone who think that they can be hurt or they have been hurt by others, you don't see yourself. A real self cannot be hurt. Only the false self, the ego self, which is not you. So if they hurt, quote unquote, you, just know it wasn't you. It was the ego, and be glad that whatever they did brought that pain to you so you can see that it's not you. Overcome the false self, and you cannot be hurt. Really. That, I'm telling you, you cannot be hurt. So it was the ego that was hurt. But forgive them for trying to hurt you, because evil people do try to hurt other people. But forgive them. Don't be angry. Be glad to see it. Be grateful. Amazing. Thank you.
And some biblical question responses if you have time. Desta is an answer to the biblical question.
What are you committed to?
Desta 4383 says, I'm committed to saving my brother from the children of the lie.
Amazing. You can't save anybody, though. What? You can't even save yourself. But thank you. DN Cusso 3967 says, in answer to the biblical question, he's committed to, or she, the S word. Well, he spells it out. Amazing. Thank you.
Too honest. And one lady, Blue Chav, is committed to, I am committed to obeying my husband. It's been hard to let the ego die. There really is pain.
Yeah, but it's not you. Let it die. In order to live, the ego must die. You have to let it die. Then you'll be done with death. And it won't be you dying. It'll be the false self. All of your ideas will be dying. Your little plans and your little goals and your little ideas must disappear. All thoughts must die. Amazing.
Compulsive Elk 7103. Again, these aren't biblical questions, actually, nor have they ever been. You just make up some random questions and call them, quote unquote, biblical questions. I guess that's not an answer. But it was a funny response.
What the? Thank you.
Thank you, guys. That's all for now, I think.
All right. I do appreciate it. Thank you. That was funny. Arthur is a first-time caller out of Texas. Arthur, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing today, Jesse?
All is well, sir.
Hey, well, first off, I wanted to say Happy White History Month.
Thank you, man. July just feels white.
Absolutely, that and it feels hot. But I wanted to go ahead and say thank you, man. Since I started listening to your show, maybe last year or so, and I've just noticed a tremendous change in my life, just applying some of the things that you've talked about, even from the silent prayer to especially forgiving my parents.
Yeah.
I grew up, and it was, everybody has their struggles, everybody has their situations that they go through growing up. But I grew up in a very angry household, and I realized, I identified with that spirit for a very long time, to the point where earlier in my marriage, I was very angry, and I saw that same spirit feed on my wife as well. And last year I went and I forgave my mom and forgave my dad, and actually went up to them and told them that, and understood that no matter what came out of that, that I was going to let them know that I forgave them, and I understood that they didn't know what else, that they can only do what they, they can only do what they can only, sorry, my son is crying. They could only do what they knew.
Yeah.
My mom didn't take too well to that. However, since then it was just love that I've had for her, love for my father, and it's benefited me tremendously as well. It's given me the patience to be able to deal with my wife's hell and help her, and as well as my kids. At the time, I had one daughter, and didn't have a lot of patience, didn't know how to deal with a lot of things. Since then, I've seen the growth. I have a son now who's 7 months right now, and I just wanted to tell people, man, that just to follow the things that you say and the advice that you give is amazing, and I'm truly thankful for, being exposed to your show, but also being exposed to God's love. So I want to say thank you.
Right on, man. And stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And if you stay in the light, stay with the silent prayer and just watch those thoughts, the ego would die, the light would run the devil from you, destroy him, take him away. And Arthur, you ever see anything, man, it gets better and better and better. Stay with it no matter what happens outside of you. You stay and live from within, and it only get better. It cannot get worse. It can only get better.
Absolutely. I received that, man. Thank you. You have a blessed one. Try to stay cool out there, and happy White History Month.
Thank you, buddy. Happy White History Month to you, and I will. Amazing. You got to become your own man. You got to become your own woman if you want to be free. There's no other way. The kingdom of heaven is within. Everything you're looking for, everything you want to be in real life, not just fake ideas of things you want to be, it's in you already. You got to let go and let it happen. And it's for every man, woman, and child that will receive it. But you got to let go. You must forgive. Forgive mama and or grandmama, whatever woman raised you, and forgive your father. You cannot love God or know God and resent your earthly father. You must forgive, and you shall be free. Let me go quickly to do the silent prayer, www.silentprayer.video, www.silentprayer.video, or rebuildingtheman.com/church. You can get it there as well. Let me go quickly to Frederick out of Los Angeles. Frederick, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thanks for taking my call, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, sir. Happy White History Month.
No, I'm not participating in that.
Oh, you're not?
No, July don't feel white to me.
I'm surprised to hear that.
$31 trillion in debt.
So what now?
BRICS is about to take over. America has been led in the wrong direction by the masses of the whites. What's wrong with them?
That's why you're not celebrating White History Month?
Yes, we're in a bad position right now.
What kind of position you're in?
We in a
When you say we, I'm talking. Who are you? I'm talking about you. What type of position you're in?
We have.
What type of Frederick? What type of you're in a bad position?
We have a one-party
Frederick,
system.
you're in a bad position?
Yeah, Democrats and Republicans.
I got to run, Frederick. I'm trying to get you to answer. You won't answer me. I am so out of time. The Hake report is coming up now. And then at 12 noon, the Fallen State, brand new episode. And then at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby, Pacific time. Become your own man. Become your own woman. You will not regret it. I'm telling you, as a living witness. But you got to be willing to stand alone. Stand, stand, stand. And when you've done all you can do to stand, stand some more. Amazing. I'm out of time. Richard out of California. The callers are hanging up. I am so out of time. I'll see you at church on Sunday. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Have a good one, folks. Get your White History shirts. Go to whitehistorymonth.store. All right, have a good one, folks. Take care. I know you can find a way. Find a way.
You must know that's so you get something went wrong, but check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understand and lose. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop at the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa. So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing.